Hello,
Hello.
and welcome back to Date Night.
It's us. We're the date night, and you are the stars.
And this week, we're going back to our old story.
Hey Torps, what's your favorite flavor of Doritos?
Well, I don't really... I think as I've eaten them more as an adult, I've realized that Doritos just don't do it for me anymore.
That's not very yes and of you.
I'm sorry, but if I had to choose one, I think it would have to be nacho cheese.
Oh, great, because that's where we are.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on Nacho Cheese Rin, the happy Rin. Do y'all remember her? Do you remember what she's like? She's happy, and her sort of coping mechanism for dealing with grief is to just be really bubbly
Outgoing.
and extroverted and care about family a lot.
Kind of like our previous boyfriend. Well, not this boyfriend.
So tonight we're doing the Yomi route, and
That's right.
by the Yomi route I mean the Yomi ending. The ending we probably should have gotten, but then we got the Asagi ending instead.
Yeah, we got blocked. But what all happened in the nacho cheese story? What did we learn about?
Well, she was just talking about. Okay, let's just pause on this screen right here, because I feel like that's really where we need to be while we're talking.
This is really the mood of nacho cheese Rin.
Big mood. We had the love story, the sort of Romeo and Juliet love story between the guy and the ice, the snow Ayakashi.
Right, that was right before
Where?
this.
And so she was just saying like, oh, I wonder if Hisame has already been reborn.
Right, because she gave up all her energy to save the man that she loves.
Yeah. And at first he was like, no, I don't even want to be with her because I'm not good enough.
Right. I can't handle the fact that I would die before this ghost person.
Yeah. And then before that, there was the little girl.
Right, there was Momo, the flower who was loved so much that she became an Ayakashi.
And her caretaker, her grandfather, died, and
Right.
Asagi let her talk to him through the veil of death for a moment so that she could say goodbye.
And it was really sad because Momo wouldn't eat without her grandfather, so she was going to die.
We had to solve the mystery of what food she liked.
Before that, we had the Tanukis, who were saved by Hagenosuke. And
that's right.
our attempt to allow them to say thank you during the school fair.
And then there was the moon spirits.
Yeah, there were the two moon spirits who came to catch fish for the god of the moon.
Yeah,
the goddess.
Because they both wanted to date her.
Right. And one of them was cheating.
Sabotaged. Yeah, he was cheating. The less cute one was cheating, of course. And was that all the stories?
That's all the stories.
And here we are back with our two
our terrible brothers.
Our terrible brothers.
I believe that's all the main stories. So we've dealt a lot, at least recently, with death.
Yeah.
But that's probably not what we're going to deal with Yomi.
We'll see. Oh, they had a discussion.
Oh man, that was the best discussion.
Just in time. Like we're finally on point here at date night.
It was December in the game.
Boots is really stoked about this.
Well, yeah, he gets to eat. You ever been to a party where there's no food?
He's also still the more reasonable one on this route as well.
Like
Yomi though, he's opened up a little bit. He's like excited about a big cake.
Well, that could work.
それいい。見た目も豪華だし、パーティーって感じする。
Let's make a big cake, everyone. This is already starting off great.
Love a good cake.
What's your favorite flavor of cake, Twerps Away?
I just helped make an apple cake the other day, and that's really good.
Ooh, that does sound really good. I don't think I've ever had an apple cake.
Oh wow, they're actually thinking about us.
No.
Don't look at me.
あのね、私元気だよ。
What a
Before
face.
I learned about like different kinds of cakes, I was really just into ice cream cake because like normal cake is like, oh, there's not enough there for me, you know.
Mm.
So I liked having ice cream with
It's
it.
just sweet bread with ice. I don't understand.
Basically. But now I've grown up and I have a much more boring palate, so it's okay.
I think my favorite flavor of cake is chocolate cake, but what I usually have is angel food cake because it does not require icing and it is less carbs per serving.
I like a cheesecake.
Cheesecake is very.
If we're counting that
well,
as a
let's
cake.
not get into that.
Right.
Because that's like on the cake pie boundary.
Right. Anyways, it's time for a party.
Oh, hell yeah. This is great. You think Larry will be there?
Oh man, I hope Larry's there.
Like every stream, and I have
want
not
Larry
brought
to be
this
back.
up, and I'm sorry, but like every stream since Larry appeared, Beam Splash has been asking in the chat, "Where's Larry?" And well, I'm here to tell you, he's finally here. It's Larry.
Well, it's like the directors wanted. Every time he's not on screen, everyone should be asking, "Where's Larry?"
Yeah, of course.
What are you, asshole?
ちょっとウタ、それさっきから何個目？そんなことしてたらなくなっちゃうよ。
See, Uda's smart, where he's like pretending to be really bad at being in the kitchen.
So he eats everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, this cut doesn't look good. Oh, so they're making that kind of cake.
Ooh, classic.
I think as I've gotten older and learned to appreciate more fruits too, I think I might like cake more now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you tell him. You tell him, Suzori.
Classic pickup line right here.
この絞り袋に入れて、ケーキの上に絞り出すの。絞り口を変えると。
Are they talking about a different whipped cream that's more than just cream that has been whipped? Because if it is merely cream that has been whipped, it will not stick around very long for you to just like have it on that cake for a long time.
I think that's supposed to be the middle layer?
Mm-hmm.
お姉ちゃん、僕もイチゴできたよ。
God bless him. I'm not gonna lie, every time Suzori says something like to be congratulated for, I throw my hands up. I'm just always like, oh, thank God, what a great boy.
Proud of him.
任せて。
He's so good at drawing and cutting a strawberry.
He's so smart and talented. We just love him. It's the Winter Boys.
It is. One of these people knows how to wear a scarf.
いぶきくん、いらっしゃい。
But just barely.
And one of them is our messy boyfriend, Fuki.
Aww. Well, it's Cool Ranch Rin's messy boyfriends.
Right.
ゴロゴロしていたわけじゃない。なのにボタモチが無理やりにだな。
Do you think he was like out, like just sleeping outside in the snow?
Probably. Oh, that's right. Asagi Asagi is our real boyfriend in this route.
Right.
Oh, I forgot about Asagi's also terrible coat game with his weird big vest.
Yeah, he's got that weird vest thing going on.
The fact that he's just wearing like a not fitted like deep V and then shirt and then a vest over is just so odd. I think we said that before. He's like wearing pajamas.
Like, the colors aren't necessarily bad, like, they mix well, but the fact that it's a vest.
It's just weird.
お前も何かしろよ。
もう人手は足りてるのだろう。
Oh, Suo, you're the
Oh.
same in every route.
Terrible.
はなちゃんはこれ
Oh my god, what is he gonna give him?
なんだこのピラピラした紙は。
パーティーだからお部屋に
Ha.
Hell yeah.
Put the streamers up.
Plus, as a cat guy, he's probably gotta be, like, into, like, just, you know, pawing at him.
Oh yeah, he's gonna put him up and then wreck him immediately.
Also, Suzuri pouting to make people do it.
Oh,
God bless him.
nice to see Suo getting wrecked so early in this chapter.
Yeah. Kami-sama's here.
Yeah, everybody's here. Hungry boy, hungry boy.
Oh, incredible.
Oh, they're back.
The Tanukis are here too.
いい匂いがします私
And Momo.
クリスマス
Aww,
God bless. Momo's here for her first Christmas. And there's Larry.
it's Larry.
パーティーになりそうじゃないか。
Oh my god.
If you don't remember, all of the all caps words are said in a really great English.
確実に呼んでないやつもいるんだけど、どういうことだ？
Oh no.
みんなが集まっちゃうのはいつものことじゃないそれにパーティーは大勢の方が絶対に楽しいよ
Boys are getting upset they don't get to have as big a piece of cake.
集まってきたね。ケーキはできてる？
うんバッチリだよ
それじゃクリスマスパーティーを始めようか。
Aw, see, now who she's Rin is the one who's like, yeah, I'm so glad everyone's here.
Yeah.
She's the one that reacts to things pretty much the way that we react to things.
Exactly.
このチキンめっちゃくちゃうまい。銀はやっぱ料理の天才だな。ありがとう。でも歌、両手で鳥の足を持つのはやめ
Oh my
ろ。
Full
god.
fist in them.
だってよ、うまいんだもん。
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Aww.
そっ
Aw,
か
I made a little fox
I
out of
love the little
fondant.
fox with the rice ball.
Yeah.
おいしい
Also the ribbon around it.
マークも食べる
もらう。ちょうだい。あ
うーん
God.
おいしい、おいしいよつづり。
よかった
No.
美味しくて楽しいし、賑やかだな。クリスマスはこうでなくちゃね。
真夏さんご飯足りてますこっちのちらし寿司も美味しいですよ
いただいてるよ。ありがとう、りんちゃん。
Ah, my favorite, Japanese-style daily dishes.
I'm not sure what that means. I'm imagining like when you go
I guess like
to-
everyday, yeah, go-to dishes.
or not even like that. Well, also that, but like I also imagine like when you go to like a Korean restaurant, they always do like the 8 sides. I almost imagine something kind of like that.
Oh yeah, just stuff that's always there.
Yeah. What's Yomi up to? Oh, he's gonna be a wallflower.
Oh, apparently Hey Boots had to work extremely hard to make it here for date night, so let's give him a special welcome. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
here.
I'm happy everyone's here.
よくない。邪魔だ。
Okay.
はいはいねえもうちょっとそっちに詰めて
Funny joke. Anyways.
すな。人の話を聞けよ。あっちに行けってば。
Ah, that's right.
もう座っちゃ
This
った
whole thing.
相変わらず強引なやつだな。
も
Look, we're gonna make him turn that frown upside down.
It's true.
まあまあそう怒らないでご飯が美味しく
Cube in the chat says, is Rin gonna have to explain to Yomi about the Ayakashi notice Santa Claus?
If you're a grumpy Gus, you won't get any presents.
Oh my god.
なんだよ、じろじろ見るな。
だって気になるんだもんどうしてそんなしかめっ面してるの
I'm scowling because I hate fun.
俺はいつこ
Oh,
んな顔
wow.
いつもよりひどいよせっかくのパーティーなのに
うるさいのが嫌いなんだよ。
Look at this liar. Oh my god.
Look at these. friend havers.
Yomi.txt. Yeah.
どいつもこいつも浮かれて。
I don't understand the point of these emotions, like friendship.
この時期は毎年これだからうんざりする。
I hate Christmas. Santa Claus isn't even real.
That's why he's mad. He learned earlier this year.
Oh yeah, just earlier this year.
そもそもクリスマスって一体何や。
Oh my god. It's time for Yomi to learn the true meaning of Christmas.
人間の行事になん
That's
て
right.
興味ないんだよ。
It's smooching
知らなく
us.
たって当然だろ。
What a Dumbo.
そっかなんて説明したらいいかなクリスマス
Wow, deep cuts on Christmas.
誕生日なんだよ
Are
Problem.
they not allowed to say like it's a Christian holiday? Like why do they? Oh God, who even knows? We're like so many levels deep, right?
I feel like the implication is just as like, oh, I really don't know either.
そんなに詳しいわけじゃないもんおめでたいお祭りだっていうのはわかるけど
This is a fascinating idea of like not being inundated so heavily with like the Christian
じゃあ
culture.
お前だって
Right.
Is that Japanese people just celebrate Christmas because it's fun?
That's wild.
でもそれ
Like
で
that's
も
basically what it is here, anyways. But like not even knowing, like
Yeah, it's just weird because it's like, yeah, how do you explain it? It's like, hey, so like Western culture, particularly American culture, is like so dominant in the world that they've just like imposed all their holidays on us, and so we do them too.
it's just an excuse.
「クリスマスは楽しくて素敵な日なんだよ家族でごちそうを食べてお祝いするのあとはやっぱり恋人同士にとっても特別なんだと思う
Wowzers.
Oh yeah, what does it mean? Manchester in the chat says Christmas is like Valentine's Jr. in
一緒に過
Japan.
ごしてプレゼント
I mean, even
を取り合う
even here, like it's like a lot of people propose on Christmas. Like you get the engagement ring as your like Christmas present or your big purchase.
Or New Year's or anything like
変
that.
って
Mm-hmm.
やっぱ変だ。クリスマスなんて。
You're not wrong.
人間の恋人同士も変だ。一緒にいたいとか、みんなで過ごす。
Oh my god!
Oh, what if-
I thought we were past this in this route, but I guess not.
Look, we have to deal with Yomi's issues with companionship.
どうしてそんなこと
You're all completely illogical. I don't understand why we want to develop relationships between human beings and have human emotions.
なんで一緒にいたいなんて思うんだよ。
I forgot that her responses are also very good, which is like, "What's wrong with you?" Which is the appropriate response.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like how could you just lie to my face like this?
なんでお前らは誰かと一緒にいたがる。
Not that I don't get like where he's coming from as like an idiot teen, but like
だから人間を見てるとイラつくんだ。
they're so illogical.
ベタベタつるんで群れて、そんなことしたって一人でいれば静かに過ごせる。誰かのせいで嫌な思いをすることもない。
Oh.
そうだよ。最初から一人でいれば。
ヨミはみんなといるのが寂しいの？
Got him. Fucking wrecked. Oh, great.
This is the first like real concrete hint at something happening beforehand, besides his eye being taken.
寂しいわけないだろ。くだらないこと言うな。
I forgot that he says useless questions all the time. Ugh, Yomi's the worst. I still hate him.
ちょっと違うんじゃないかなって。
何が違うんだよ。
誰かがそばにいたのに、その誰かがそばにいなくなるのが寂しいんじゃないのかなって。なんとなくそんな気がして。
違う。
Oh my god.
違う違う。
Objection!
絶対に違う。そんなんじゃない。分かったようなことを言うな。お前に何が分かるんだよ。俺はそんなんじゃ。
What a scene.
Let's just give him a pat behind the ears.
ごめん。この話はもう終わりにするね。雪だ。
なんだよ。いきなり大声出すな。
それどころじゃないよ、ヨミ。雪が降ってる。
はあ。ああ、そうみたいだな。
ホワイトクリスマスだよ。
なんだって？
ねえ、外に出てみない？雪を見に行こうよ。
はあ？冗談じゃない。
Oh my god.
寒いし、
Just like you.
My sweater.
いいから、ほら、早く。
I thought almost you were making a dig at me, and then I realized you're talking to Yomi. I was like, wait a minute.
No, neither. Look, both of us may have been Yomi-like at points in our lives, but we've moved past that.
すごい。
寒い。
見てヨミ、すっごく綺麗。ほら、まだこんなに。
Quick, throw a snowball at his face.
Yeah, just.
そりゃ積もり始めなら柔らかいだろう。何をそんなに興奮してるんだか。
だってホワイトクリスマスだよ。私初めて見たかも。
なあ、 さっきからそのホワイトクリスマスってのは一体何なんだ？
クリスマスに雪が降ることだよ。
Oh my goodness.
だから
だからってロマンチックだと思う。
Oh my god. Oh my god. We're in it now, everybody.
むしろ寒い。
It's just get ready for more of this shit.
もう読みってば夢がない。
Well, I mean, it seems like the imagination was removed along with his right eye.
That's where they keep it.
こんな寒空の下、わざわざ庭に出てまでさ。
Do you think if they got their... I suppose when they get their eyes back, right? Because it's a plot point that they've been removed. They become the same person, or they're still two different people?
I bet they're different. I mean, we know what to say.
Yeah.
あったんだもん。
Yeah.
俺と？どうしてだよ。
I
Even
mean,
I didn't
same.
know.
わかんない
Even we don't know why we did that.
かな。
It's because we want to
なんだ
kiss him on the mouth.
変なやつ。
綺麗な雪が見られると思ったらヨミも連れて行かなきゃって思って。
勝手に巻き込むなよな。迷惑だ。
No, I was thinking a lot of words to describe him for the sake of having them. I think it's really just that he's a big old tsundere.
Yep. He's such a fun ruiner. He just ruins fun.
He's all soon, no dere.
The dere is so small. It's hidden under so many layers of
わかってな
soon.
いな。
どこに乙女がいるって？
Holy shit!
ここにいます。
Tackle him? I don't
ど
know.
こだ？見当たらないな。すぐに
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, in this one she likes to pinch his cheeks too, which is like a little much. But also he deserves to be bullied just a little bit.
Right. Look! She gets it. Yeah.
そっかそっか。
Chokeslam
ご
him.
めんね。女の子の気持ちなんて。
Yeah, get him.
Or we can just insult it. Let's just keep going.
なんだって？聞き捨てならない。
Can't handle a taste of his own medicine.
いうわけ。お前よりずっと長く生きてるんだけど。
あやかしとか人間とかは関係ないよ。女の子の気持ちがわからないのはお子様だもん。とにかく女の子は素敵なシチュエーションに憧れるものなの。こういうホワイトクリスマス。
Whoa, I think you admitted something there, right?
Oops. Oops.
And no one caught on.
He's taking notes.
Or is he? Hmm?
それ、具体的にどういう風にしたい？
Oh no. Okay, there we go. The text wasn't showing for a second, so.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
I think he's setting her up though. I think he's about to make fun of her again.
だからその手をつないだり抱き合ったり。
Yeah, you know, adult things like hugging.
それから
Oh my god. Quick, while he isn't paying attention, just do it. He will be equally fucked up.
Beam Slash says, get a taste of that extreme nacho cheese flavor, Yomi. Adult lover things like having some pizza and watching a movie.
他にはないの?
Wow, wrecked. Wow.
恋
Wow.
人としたいこともっと他にもあるんじゃないの？
Wow, this is so much!
そのキスとか
I would have never imagined this being so direct.
This is so much!
Who's gonna ruin it? Who's gonna ruin it?
He's gonna ruin it.
キス
Oh, I was assuming that Udo would.
それってこういう
What?
なんてね。
Oh
There he
my god.
goes.
Oh, thank God. Oof.
すごい
I mean-
間抜け面。
What a dick bag, but like.
Yeah, I just, yeah.
バーカするわけ
Oh
ない。
my god.
見事に引っかかったな。
I would never do that.
Oh my god, did we get a bad hit?
こんなことして何が楽しいんだか
We
俺に
didn't
は
do
理
it.
解できないね。でもこれで分かっただろ。お前の方がよっぽどお子様だってさ。
What a petty loser.
Oh my god.
I'm
Yes,
the most
he was
mature one,
making
that's why I
fun of
have to
you.
bully you.
Oh my god. Chat is furious.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, push him into the snow.
おい、いきなり何するんだ。
それはこっちのセリフなんてことするのよ。
ちょっとからかっただけだろ。
やっぱりからかったんだ。バカバカ最低。
おい。雪を投げろ。
Good. Good.
Get him! For some reason. Oh, but she talks about like why she's not. It's not like a mysterious force that she feels like Cool Ranch Rin.
Right. She like gets it. But I don't know if she gets it.
こら、やめろってば。
知らない。ヨミなんて雪に埋もれちゃえ。
He should.
なんだよ。どうしてそんなに怒ってるんだ。
God, he's so like confused that she's mad at him for being mean to her, and then she's mean to him like the tiniest bit, and he's like, "How dare you! Oh my god!" Oh, Yomi's the worst.
Where are the Yomi stands? I want them
They're
back.
gone. They're dead. I killed them
Oh my god.
before the stream. I didn't want this to continue.
読み。何？お前どうしたんだよ。雪で真っ白じゃねえか。
雪合戦
This is
Yes, the
So
baby's here.
You're so sweet, but no.
なわけないだろ。とにかくずっとそんなところにいたら冷えるだろ。部屋の中に戻らないと。
さあ、りんちゃんも何か温かい飲み物でも作るから。
ありがとう銀さん。でも私疲れちゃったから今日は部屋に戻る。ごめんね。
Still mad about being called a baby.
ったんだあいつ。
元気なかった。
They're both like, "What'd you do, Yomi?"
I mean, look, we all know who the instigator is in this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Gin knows. He knows.
知らない。
Yomi.
Yeah, you don't. Uh-huh.
なんなんだよ。
Oh my god, this is like the most fucking realistic reaction. I'm dying.
This is the most.
I hope they all
teen.
yell at him. What the hell, man?
This is so teen. Ugh.
Why are girls so weird and have feelings and stuff? I don't get it. Why does this girl not just let me be mean to her and never retaliate? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, she's sitting there, why am I attracted to him? I just don't understand. None of this makes any sense. He's an ass.
Sometimes love just doesn't make sense. Which is why Yomi's a horrible person to us.
なんだか知らないけど、へこんでんじゃねえの。
そんなことない。
なあ、あいつと喧嘩したんだろ。
And you're just like, what the hell, Yomi, you dick?
やっぱりな。
He totally knows.
Oh, I love them. I love their conversations between each other, which they don't have very often.
なのに、どうしてあんなに怒ってるんだか。
They're good brothers for each other.
They are, yes.
お前にもわからないのか。
さあね。わかりたくもないけど。
ふん。でも、あいつがあんなに怒るの珍しいよな。ギスギスしたままなのは面倒だからな。早いとこ、なんとかした方がいいんじゃねえの。
わかってる。余計なお世話。
Oh, he even said it to him like what he would want to hear, which is like the quickest, most optimal way to resolve this situation is to apologize.
And you know he wouldn't have.
Yeah.
If someone weren't like pulling the strings behind him.
Yeah, and he's like, I know.
なんとかって言ったって。怒った理由もわかんないのに、どうしろって言うんだよ。
I'm sorry if I offended you.
I'm sorry that I offended you by bullying you.
I'm sorry you took it the wrong way. Classic Yomi, where's my hug? That's right, let's go and date that blonde kid. Aganosuke.
Yeah. What if we could end every route by dating Haganosuke, actually? Now she's heartbroken and she's like mad at herself for being heartbroken because he's such an ass. Why do I even like this boy? I mean, honestly though, relatable. Why do I even like boys? They're so horrible. I know, Rin.
おはよ
おはよう。銀さんが朝ごはんできたって。
う。そう。じゃあ後でね。
おい
Oh man.
Wow.
Gotta try harder. You're mad because he broke your heart. Not only did he like he broke it in like a really mean way.
What a doof. What a doofus.
Chad is talking about how men are trash, and Beansplash has come in with the classic reference. How can you say that when there's a perfectly good hot dog on the ground? I believe the full quote is on the ground outside, which is also excellent.
Our favorite dangerous uncle.
You could have dated me. I'm just like weirdly clingy and crash my motorcycle all the time.
Really bad at driving. My most charming feature is that I'm really, really clumsy.
Wow, just like in a romantic comedy.
Just like in real life.
よし、今日は徹底的に掃除をするぞ。だな。みんな、準備はできたかな?
Sounds like a minigame's about to start.
Oh man, I wish this had mini games.
I know, right?
I've played a couple of like visual novels that do that. It'd be nice if this one had them.
Yeah.
はい、いいお返事だね。そっちの二人はどうかな?
What about the two layabouts?
Oh my god. What about my two disappointing sons? Yes, the full quote, Yomi.txt. It's stupid when girls say they can't find a guy, yet they ignore me. It's like saying you're hungry when there's a hot dog on the ground outside.
Oh my god. He's the best.
Oh. Aha, reward for hard work.
And it's something everyone loves. That's right, food.
Uta's so straightforward.
He's so easy to read. Well, we should just pretended to go on the Ayakashi route and just dated him instead. Who would have noticed? Yeah. No one would have noticed until it was too late.
Yeah, we're definitely dating Yomi, and then we just date Uta.
Now that's extremely rom-com, where you accidentally date the wrong brother.
Oh my god.
It's like mistaking the Property Brothers. I mean the main two, not the third one. You can easily tell the difference with the third one.
This is so awful. You don't know where to start from because he's the one that needs to apologize.
Because it's his fault.
Yes, there you go. See, she knows. Yeah. We don't need to tell her. She knows.
Which is its own issue, Rin.
What?
We just stare at him more. Hey, does
It's
this bug
just-
you?
I mean,
Poke
I
you?
guess stare at him is the correct answer.
I mean, probably, because, like, averting our eyes just makes it, you know, more awkward, kind
Yeah,
of.
I guess it means talk to him or don't talk to him.
More or less. Well,
Oh, he backed down.
this is gonna be a case of who breaks first.
He like fucking Yomi, you piece of shit. Like
Don't play
you
chicken
can't,
with my emotions.
he's oh my god.
さて、それじゃあ掃除の係を決めないといけないね。
I feel like this is almost like the natural way that this would go is that she like had a crush on him and now her crush goes away because she's like, oh, actually
Right.
he's a piece of shit.
To literally anyone else.
徹底的に磨く。マナスとツズリがお店の中を掃除
Mahatsu, can I still switch to your chapter?
I mean, we could.
Literally at any point, we could just turn this whole thing on its head.
わかった
But I think we should give Yomi his due until he
歌は
apologizes.
2階の
This
掃除を頼むよ。
is quite
特
painful.
にリビングを念入りにね。
Let's see what his apology looks like, though. He
Like
is a
the-
teen.
The biggest issue is, like, there just aren't enough hints of him being romantic throughout the rest of the story.
銀さん
Like, there are a
Yeah,
couple
it's just
bits.
he like gets embarrassed a couple times and is like, "Oh, it's not like I like you or anything."
But,
But like,
like,
it's so mean.
right, unlike Uda, who's like, you know, he's rude sometimes, but like to a purpose.
わかった
He's not like
俺は
he's like more like he's mean and like, but he's I don't know the way that he bullies her is like more friendly. Like there's like a line that he wouldn't cross.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Yomi seems to not have a line.
Right.
Gin is of course
Gin knows how to
Being the
deal with
best,
these problems.
he knows exactly how to solve these problems.
Dad.
なんでこいつと一緒
Dan,
な
I don't
わ
wanna.
け違う場所にしてよ。
銀さん私は一人で平気だよ
3階には廊下もあるし、女の子一人じゃ大変でしょ。
でも、
他の場所は人が足りているんだ。ヨミ、これはもう決定事項だよ。さあ、大掃除だ。みんな頑張ろう。
Get ready to be dadded very intensely. Gin is the most powerful dad, it's true.
He could beat up anyone's dad, but he wouldn't.
He never would be, yeah, because he is a kind and gentle fox god. The silence is painful because a reasonable person would say something to her, you fucking jerk. Oh my god.
Just say it, you.
God, I hate
Dingus.
him so much. This is 100% truth.
Oh no.
おい
Well, I guess he's not all terrible.
Oh my god.
What a hilarious circumstance.
Things just went full anime, folks.
I mean, it had to at some point.
Oh no, we're in the sex position. Oh no, how embarrassing. Oh no, we're horny teens.
Oh. Well, glad that's over.
Relatable. What? I can't hear the music, but is it comedy music playing right now?
There's actually no music right now.
Oh my god.
It's treating this as about as awkward as it could possibly be treated.
Oh my god.
I can't believe it. He did it. No wonder everyone loves this boy.
Ugh!
Like, I really hope with something soon, the relationship is admitted in such a way that he's not as much of an asshole to us. Like, it can feel like we're actually moving to somewhere romantically.
Yeah.
急にどうしたの？
Yes, you did actually have to say something.
He's shook.
Oh my god. Oh, the empathy! Oh, wow, wow!
それで
And then CG and then credits.
Suddenly a bunch of like balloons and streamers erupt from the sides of the screen and it's like, Yomi did an empathy! Congratulations!
Every character from every anime, video game, comic book, movie.
Yeah, I get really frustrated when games do this too because, like, a lot of times I feel like they try to be like, oh, well,
ごめん。
like, it's almost like it could almost be couched into, like, Yomi being neuroatypical, but he's not. Like,
Right,
he's
sucks.
just an asshole. And, like, he should fully well, like, know better than this because he's not actually a teen. He's, like, a 1,000-year-old dog ghost. So, it's shitty. He's being shitty.
I mean, they're teen enough. Maybe he only acts like this when he's not in his dog form.
これで仲直りしよう。
Oh
これでいいのか?
What do you want out of me, Yomi? Jesus.
Oh my god.
I thought we should fight more.
Get I mean, honestly, get destroyed. Like, honestly, if he is honestly expecting her to, like, give him a hug or something, like, get fucked. Die in a fire. Goodbye. There you go.
This reminds me of one of my high school relationships that literally ended with us both deciding, oh, we don't like each other. And then later she was like, you know, I think that was too nice of a breakup. I think we should fight about something.
Oh my god. That's extremely good, but also I'm sorry that happened to you.
And then we started fighting about fighting, and then it got really bad from there. But that's, you know, it's behind me.
Well, she got what she wanted.
I guess so.
Oh, I hope that at the end, even if it wasn't to you, she was like, this is bad, actually. Oh my god.
See, I can deal with this, Yomi. I can deal with this, Yomi.
Yeah, I feel like this Yomi is the Yomi that is talking about, like, no, we like each other. Like, that he already knows, and that's why he's like, oh, you're just saying friends because you, like, don't understand what's going on.
Right, like, that the him being extremely mean to us felt really out of place. Because, like, usually he's just this kind of garbage fucker instead of, like, an actually, like, mean one.
Yeah.
So I hope that's the last of that. Like, I can deal with the dynamic that they have previous to this, you know? Like, when he's like, I don't like being alone, she's like, well, that's because you're a dummy, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah. Also, they've been holding hands this whole time.
Not until we kiss for real.
Same.
Oh, I could have gotten out of this with not apologizing. Ugh.
Or something?
If he smiled more while owning us, I think I'd feel more comfortable with him as a romantic option. It would feel like it was jokey, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yomi makes a tired face, but I don't care anymore. Nothing can keep me down. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yes. Always ask him what he said. I like that at least her conclusion is like, you're still an asshole and I'm angry at you because you didn't apologize good enough. And like, but also like, I like, since you're not doing this like whole apology thing, I guess I still want to like talk to you.
Yeah. You know, we had a fight, but I don't want to lose what we had previously, which I guess they had something.
Yeah. Even though it's still bad that you continue to not apologize or understand what you did wrong. Or you, like, sort of apologized, but not, you don't understand what you did wrong.
At least it wasn't I'm sorry you got mad.
Yeah, that's true. He said it was bad. I did it bad.
Yeah, well, so thank God.
Sometimes a relationship is two tops fighting forever.
Tension. I love this face.
Yes, this is good.
もうヨミはすぐそうやって意地悪ばっかり言うんだから。えい。
やめろやめろ。そっちがその気なら。
Oh my god.
Ah.
何を喋ってるかわかんないね。お前のほっぺたがどこま
See,
で
this
伸
is
びる
good.
か
I like
この
this.
まま試してみてもいいんだぞ。
Give me the option. Oh, jeez.
なんかバタバタして騒がしいな。お前ら何遊んでんだよ。
Hey, stop having fun without us. We're supposed to be doing
Finally.
housework.
二人とも下の部屋は終わったけどこっちはどうだい？
Don't come up here. Also, don't ask questions.
Oh no. Oh no, my brother caught me roughhousing with a girl.
何か手伝おうか？
Yes, please.
ちょっと手間取っちゃって。
大丈夫。すぐ終わるから。何も問題ない。
Oh my god.
We have no problems going on. We're
There are no
okay.
problems here on this floor, the third floor of the house.
じゃあね、二人とも。
Do they don't have any idea what's going on.
No.
よかった。変に思われな
They're
かった。
clueless. Oh, they might think we're weird if we're like hanging out and having fun. We never do that.
It's true though.
何やってんだろうな。
よし、すっきりしたところで掃除を終わらせちゃおうか。ずっとここに座り込んでても仕方ないもんね。
They have reaffirmed that they do in fact like each other, but refuse to say it.
そうだな。サボってたら銀さんに怒られるしな。
I love him now.
Nope. Disagree.
Sorry, I love him a little more now.
みんなお疲れ様。おかげで家中がピカピカになったよ。ありがとう。
I think it'll still take a bit. But you know what? That was
し
charming.
ばらく掃除はしたくないぜ。
でも頑張ったから今日の夕ご飯はとびきり美味しく食べられるよね。楽しみだな。
お前って本当にそればっかりだな。
いいじゃない。ヨミだって今日はお腹空いたでしょ。
そりゃあれだけこき使われればね。
晩飯は焼肉だったよな。よっしゃー、食うぞー。
I don't remember if we've had this dish before in the game.
I don't know. Let's look.
それじゃあご期待に応えられるよう腕によりをかけて作らないとね。それじゃあみんな掃除道具を片付けてきてくれるかな。
はいよ。
Yakiniku is grilled meats. It's just a bunch of grilled meat.
Okay. Well,
ほら、行くぞ、あかね。
Wait, he's calling us not our name?
he's calling us by our family name, I guess.
Why?
どうやらうまくいったみたいだな。
Wait, were they all? Were they all in on this?
父ちゃんたち
Well, obviously,
Oh, well, a little. At least a
Gin
little bit.
was in on it.
あ、本当によかったよ。
Sorry, I didn't know how deep they were in on it.
仲良しが一番
God, ain't that the truth of the story?
Dad squad over here.
Actually, Manjaz points out in the chat, I feel like Yomi usually calls us, oh my, or like you girl rather than by name. So maybe you're right. Maybe it just looks weird because he's actually calling us by a name.
I didn't realize he wasn't calling us Rin. That's fucking ridiculous. Oh boy, my favorite dish, lobster, beans, and kelp.
Classic. Oh, is there like a traditional New Year's food? Look this up.
I'm looking. Yes.
Okay.
Osechi Ryori are traditional Japanese New Year foods.
私おせちなんて作る
They are easily recognizable by their special boxes.
俺だってそうだ。普通の料理だって面倒な
Kept
の
stacked
に
together.
こんなに手
They're
間がかか
cute.
るものが作れるのか。
Does it say what goes in them, or is like a specified?
Yes. They each have a special meaning celebrating the new year.
肉料理も入れようぜ。
Datemake, sweet rolled omelet mixed with fish paste or mashed shrimp. They symbolize a wish for many auspicious days. Kamaboko is a boiled fish cake. Traditionally, slices of red and white kamaboko are alternated in rows or arranged in a pattern. Kazunoko, herring roe. It symbolizes a wish to be gifted with numerous children in the new year. Konbu, seaweed, brings joy. Kuromame, black soybeans, it symbolizes health. Kohaku namasu,
手巻きって魚
red white vegetable made of daikon carrot cut into thin
あ、
strips.
そうだよ。
You get the idea.
Yeah, that's cool.
せっかくだから豪華
There's a bunch of stuff, and it's all like good fortune, long life, abundant harvest, all, stuff like that.
Right.
There's a food to represent every wish.
We only get like black-eyed peas as ringing in the new year.
Oh, we don't
Oh, is that
have
not a thing that
any
you've done?
food. No, my family doesn't have any New Year's food traditions.
Well, I think the black-eyed peas thing is like a old wives' tale kind of traditional thing.
Oh, I've never heard that before. What's the, is it just like that it's good luck?
I think it's just good
Or
luck.
Is it like a, No, we don't do anything except watch, I've spent every New Year's that I've been alive at my parents' house watching some New Year's show. No matter where I have been in my life, I always come home for Christmas and New Year's, and we always watch the New Year's show. Recently, it's been the Kathy Griffin and Anderson Cooper one, which I watched because I'm a fucking mess, and they actually liked it, and so now that's the one that we watch.
でもおせちは綺麗なだけじゃない。
Now we watch the gay one.
おせち料理には一つ一つに意味があるんだ。重箱に詰めることにだって幸せを重ねるという意味が込められているし。
そうだったんだ知らなかったな
While you cook this meal, I actually need to get something to eat real quick, so my
Okay.
blood sugar doesn't go low, so I'll be right back.
All right.
だからみんなで作りたかったんだ。
I feel like I did something for last New Year's, but I can't remember what it was. And I think the year before that, I watched Red Line, which is not a New Year's movie. So, There was definitely one year when all of my high school friends were still around where we did some kind of soda pong to ring in the new year.
Wow, it's me. I got dried
Welcome back.
strawberries.
Wow.
They're not there's not freeze dried. I found like just dried strawberries.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
So they're soft. They're really good because strawberries are delicious.
Love them. He's only weak in spirit. No need to tough it up. You don't have to act cool in front of me.
No, this is wrong though, because I feel like the actual more polite thing to do when people are behaving like this is to allow them to do it. Like, you know, and be like, okay, like you're doing this, you're carrying the heavy thing for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. But probably the correct thing is the first one, right?
No.
Oh. Yes, that was what I would do in real life.
You can throw him off guard with any phrase, any old thing.
Any amount of niceness.
Oh, I guess that's one way to read it, is like, oh, I'm not willing to give away these things because I'm trying to be a better person than that. To hand them off on someone else. That's not right. He tries to cross his arms and he just drops everything.
He's also like a super strong immortal dog ghost, so like just let him carry the heavy things, honestly.
Are you laughing at me? I'm very strong and serious.
What does that mean?
I don't know what the implication here is.
We'll see what he says in response. Oh, I don't know. It must be a translation thing.
I assume, yeah, it might be a turn of phrase or something.
Yeah. Pretty much. Leaving all these delicious strawberry bag noises in the call. Jenner in the chat says, he really said, it's almost like you're a girl. I never thought of you as a girl before.
I guess that makes more sense as sort of like him trying to do like a teasing thing. The nice thing is it seems like their conversations has been more like teasing rather than like him being a fucking bully.
Mm-hmm.
We're making strides, we're making improvements.
It does make me wonder if like a lot of the things he's saying come across as extra mean because of the translation, if that's possible.
Yeah, like maybe sound colder.
Yeah, because they're more literally translated.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another year.
I guess Again, this is something that must be different for him because he's like a
1
million
年
years
の終
old.
わりとか始まりとかは人間が勝手に決めたことだよ。俺たちにはあんまり関係ないから。
Actually, based on the lunar calendar, this is an
Yeah.
arbitrary date that we've. Thanks, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
全然。お前たちがどうして大騒ぎするのか、俺にはわからない。
Like, I get this bit about him is that he's like so divorced from other cultures that he like. I feel like we're here to like teach him the joy of like arbitrary things.
Yeah.
I used to think he was cold, and now I know it.
私はね、大晦日って毎年ドキドキするよ。
ドキドキ。
なんでかな。ワクワクする気持ちと寂しい気持ちが混ざったような不思議な気持ちになるの。
寂しいってどうして？
大晦日の後にはすぐ新年が来るでしょ。何かが終わっちゃうのと始まるのが一緒に来て気持ちが追いつかないのかも。
だからワクワクするけど寂しいのか。
多分そうだよ。
まあ。
Oh my
それはわ
god.
からないでもないかもな。
Wow. Yomi did one empathy and now he's on a roll.
Holy shit. Next thing you know, he'll agree with us on something.
けどお前、昔っから慌ただしいやつだったんだな。今でも変わってないけど。
あ、ひどい。
事実だ。
It's gonna be something real fucked up too, where it's like they both agree they like pineapple on pizza or something. No, they live in Japan. That means their pizzas are even weirder. They got like mayonnaise on them.
Yeah.
But like Japanese mayonnaise, so maybe it's a little different.
Ah. He asks her questions about herself. Amazing. I love it when we get excited about the romantic tension between a man and a woman when the man is just showing basic amounts of human decency.
Hey, it's improvement.
I mean, they are teens. Like, the only saving grace is that they are teens, and so they are, like, this intense. Like,
Yeah,
they,
this is
they are, in
super real.
fact, too young to reasonably know better.
Right.
And even though Yomi's supposed to be old, he is, I guess, he's definitely written to be a teen. But
Yeah.
he should still know better than to be really, just be a cruel asshole. I don't know. I don't know. Beam Sludge in the chat says, I'm gonna tweet about how Yomi is the perfect man because he says hello.
大丈夫っぽい。よく火が通ってる。こっちの野菜もいい感じじゃないか。
In case you forgot, I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to harm any animals with what he eats, much like how Van Helsing only uses fake bullets.
Classic.
今年最後の夕ご飯だからね。ちょっと奮発したんだ。さて、いつもの挨拶をするよ。おててパッチン。
Hands clap. Everybody at home, clap along with us.
いただきます。
Yomi's beloved vegetables.
リンさんのご飯って本当に美味しい。一年の最後をこんなに美味しいご飯で締めくくれるなんて最高だね。
そう言ってもらえると嬉しいな。でも年越しそばを食べる分の余裕は残しといてね。
大丈夫、そっちは別腹で入るから。
おい、これ以上まだ食うつもりなのか？
調子に乗ると太るぜ。
大晦日の夜は特別だからいいの。
Oh, right, I forgot that they always are saying that she eats too much in this one. But now we know that it's actually sort of a mirror for her not eating enough in the other one.
Right. Also, it's illegal to be fat on New Year's. This is how it works.
Right.
All the food just gets digested immediately. That's how it works.
Oh, well, I'll take your word for it.
ほんと、半年の間に色々
As someone who's seen literally tens of New Years, I'm an expert in the field.
するのになんだか不思議。
そうだね。
そういえば夏と秋と冬は見たけど、春だけはまだ見たことないや。
And you never will.
Oh, we got to see spring in the epilogue for Akane Rin.
いいもんだぜ、もみじ村の春は。
お花いっぱい咲く。ああ、そうなんだ。春になったらみんなでお花見したいね。
お前の場合、花より団子になりそうだ。
Excuse me?
そんなことないもん。ねえ、銀さん。
Humans just don't understand. Oh, right.
Dad's disappointed. Oh, but also, you know,
Oh, right.
he knows that we
Dad-
have to reset the timeline.
Dad knows the truth.
そうだね。春になったらみんなで出かけよう。
Right, the meta narrative within this story.
Yeah.
I'd almost forgotten.
We have to date all these boys in order to find out what the fucking's deal is.
And what spring is like, and what Asagi's doing, and everything.
Dun dun dun.
つづりはやっぱり寝ちゃったか。仕方ない。
Couldn't make it to midnight, and I don't blame him.
No, he's a baby.
そうだね。
まあチビには
Mm.
厳しい時間だよな。
Oh, Uta can't stay awake either.
歌こそ今にも寝ちゃいそうじゃない。
仕方ねえだろ。もう夜中だぜ。
I had to stay up the whole time.
うるさいから寝てくれた方がいいけど。
Just go to sleep and
Oh,
leave
whoops.
me alone with my girlfriend. We're gonna kiss on New Year's Eve.
If that were the big twist, yeah, totally.
Is kissing on New Year's Eve a thing in Japan?
I don't know.
Chat,
Probably.
maybe chat knows. It seems like it could be a thing all over the world, but it seems like it could also not be.
うん。やっぱり大晦日にはお蕎麦を食べないとね。
そういえばなんでそばなんだろう。うどんじゃダメなのか。
お蕎麦はうどんより切れやすいでしょ。だから 今年1年の最悪を断ち切るっていう意味があるんだよ。
Holy shit.
Wowza.
要は縁起
I
物
guess.
ってこと？
Guess that's a way to think about anything.
そういうこと。細くて長いから長寿を願う意味とかもあるらしいよ。
Noodles are thin and long, just like Gin.
12時。
みんな、明けましておめでとう。
Wow, today was Christmas and the New
明けまして
Year.
おめでとう。
This only happens once every 200 years.
おめでとうさん。おめでとう。
Oh my gosh.
Who's gonna be there? Oh my
何
god.
してるんだよ。こんな夜
I
中。
don't need to sleep, actually.
Hey,
it's
same to you.
inefficient.
Go to bed, you dweeb. But I guess with no one else around, this is the chance.
Time to make out.
Well, I was gonna say for a genuine emotional moment that would help turn his character around. But
I feel like they don't have genuine emotional moments. I feel like they only have physical intimacy. And like that's what spurs them to try to be genuine, emotionally genuine, and then they can't quite make
Right.
it. You think? Yeah, I am.
Oh, Yomi. Wow. Ooh, woof. Wow. Wowza.
じゃあ、眠れないのか？
うん。なんとなく。
For some reason. A reason called being horny. The chat is erupting to confirm that they are in fact thirsty.
じゃあ、飲む。
This is so much.
There's a lot of tension that wasn't there with Akanosuke. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, Jesus. Well, because they were allowed like it was more like Rin who was the one who like couldn't quite get her feelings out, but like he was like, I like you.
Right.
いや、
It's like Smooch City, baby.
物音が聞こえたから降りてきただけ。
ごめん、起こしちゃった？
別に。まだ寝てなかっ
But you
た
know,
し。
relationships start out of all kinds of crazy coincidences and work out. Maybe this
Yeah,
one will just be because...
This has so much unresolved sexual tension. Exactly.
お前はどうした
So this one can just be about how sometimes a relationship comes up because two teens are hot and bothered.
God, this is so much.
寝るのがもったいなくて。
It's too real.
なんだよそれ。
だってこんなに楽しい大晦日は久しぶりだったから。私のお母さんは仕事をしていたから、大晦日はいつも一人で過ごしてたんだ。
And it's nice that, if nothing else, Rin can talk about herself in this
Yes.
relationship. Like, Yomi is at least humoring us so that we can talk, about this stuff. But maybe he's also, like, genuinely starting to, like, get it.
Yeah, he definitely needs to explain. I mean, he's the whole route. He like kind of needed her to explain that like she's a person,
and that they have like decidedly different priorities, but understanding each other is important.
And it's not like just between Yomi and Rin.
Right,
It's
between
Yomi and everyone
all of
else.
humanity. Right.
Yeah.
It just happens to be through the lens of Rin.
But it's a lot like the inverse of what we saw, where like Cool Ranch Rin was like, other people can have the same sad feelings that I have, and like clearly that's what Yomi's feeling right now. Like, oh, other people can be lonely too?
Right. And specifically, like, humans can feel this way too in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like they are capable of the same exact feelings rather than like this is like a facsimile of how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of self-isolation in this story.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like his is like rooted in some amount of like self-loathing.
Yeah.
More so than like Cool Ranch Rin. Like there's clearly something that's really fucking him up.
Yomi, just tell us. That's kind of the whole point of being alive, my dude. Oh, but you're immortal, so you like that. Maybe that's harder for you. To,
or at
like,
least they have
comprehend.
much longer lifespans.
Yeah.
Which makes it seem even weirder that he's sort of like, scared of death, as it were. But as I learned from an anime, how can you live if you're scared of dying?
Oh my god.
See, now that he's like actually admitting things, I feel like he's become a more understandable character.
Yeah. But he also, like, I mean, this route in particular has a lot more themes than the other one of, like, Ayakashi human relationships and the Ayakashi and the humans' differing lifespans, like, affecting the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Because we had that with, the other stories in this route as well. Is how all of these people dying within these relationships and how it affects the person who's left behind.
Mm-hmm. It's good advice.
See, Rin's got the real, like, outlook on life here. YOLO.
It's very true. I wish her shirt said YOLO instead of having a bow on it. I can see it so clearly in my mind.
It's gonna show up in one of the, galleries that we get.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I feel like I want Yomi to and Rin to have a moment where like he kind of breaks through her facade a little bit,
Right.
like to get her to admit like, yeah, sometimes I have really dark thoughts about things, because I feel like she's not, like, that's kind of a character flaw of this Rin. She's like, I have it all figured out, and like You're still a teen.
Right. I think part of it is she admits like I don't really know any of this, but this is what I'm going with because it's what lets me continue, sort of.
Yeah, but I feel like what he needs is probably for her to say it in a more negative way.
Sure.
To kind of meet him halfway on his negativity. Because if she's always being positive back at him, then he's gonna get annoyed with it.
Right.
私は心からそう思えるよ。
そうか。
そうだよ。
正直、お前の言ってること全部は分かんないけどさ。
But at least we're making progress.
悪くない考え方だと思うよ。
Like I'm glad we've gotten past
ただ騒がしいだけの人間
early
とは違うんだな。
drama. Because I feel like that's kind of what opened this up is like Yomi took it too far. And he realizes, geez. Hey. I'm trying to say nice things about you.
そんなことないよ。ヨミやみんながいてくれるから笑っていられるんだよ。今だってほら。
今何もしてないけど。
この
Damn straight.
ヨミがいてくれるから普通のお茶なのにすごく美味しく感じるよ。
Yeah, she's like, my life has been so fucked up that like there's literally nothing you can do to harm me.
一人じゃこんなに美味しく感じないよ。ヨミと一緒だから美味しいの。これって私がヨミといて幸せってことだと思う。幸せって思えるかどうかは自分次第って言うけど、誰と一緒にいるかも大事だと思う。私はヨミといて幸せ。
Keep this combo rolling. 2 hits.
Oh my god.
ヨミ、一緒にいてくれて。
Boom.
Knockout. Got him.
He literally explodes from embarrassment.
Tea kettle boiling over sound.
Steam pours out of his ears. You see it start from the neck and go to the top of his head as he just turns red. Eventually one of those ship whistles starts coming out of his head. Auga. And in comparison to like Cool Ranch Rin, it feels like Yomi's a lot more afraid to make these relationships, whereas like I felt like Rin just didn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's afraid and he's trying to cover it up by pretending like he doesn't understand.
Right.
Ne, Yomi, いいこと考えた。
なんだよ急に。
初日の出を見に行こうよ。
はあ？なんだよ突然。
いいじゃない。ね、行こう。
Like at least this time I get his hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
Are they supposed to get sleepy?
どうせ嫌だって言っても聞かないんだろ。
バレてますか。
バレバレだよ。わかった。行くよ行く。行けばいいんだろ。
そういうこと。 それじゃあ早速準備して出かけよ
はあ、新年早々騒がしいやつだ。嫌いじゃないけどさ。
Oh my god, they're like going all the way out there.
Yeah. They gotta get the best view.
やっぱり寒いね。
ああ、寒い。なんでわざわざ山に登らなきゃいけないんだ。
だって初日の出だよ。今年最初の朝日だよ。
だからなんだよ。
村の一番いい場所で見たいと思わない？
太陽なんてどこで見たって同じだと思うけど。
Again, thanks Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Anyways, let me tell you about Star
一緒に
Wars.
来てくれるんだね。ヨミは。
それはしょうがないだろう。お前がどうしても行くって聞か
I
ない
do
から。
appreciate how much he's getting called out by Rin.
一人で行かせて怪我でもされたら
You're going with me. Well, it's just,
銀さんに怒られるからな。
ありがとう。一緒に行きたかったから嬉しいよ。
まったく。お前といると面倒なことばっかりだよ。
a Sakura tree, not the Sakura tree.
The one, you know.
Right. Had you forgotten? This is the one. This is the important
こ
one.
こなら初日の出と一緒に桜も見られるしね。新年早々すっごく贅沢だと思わない？
贅沢かどうかはともかく、確かにここからなら朝日がよく見えるな。寒いのか？
ちょっとね。歩いてる時は平気だったんだけど、でも平気。
平気って。痩せ我慢するなよ。
Ah.
こっちに来い。
Oh, CG? Aww.
He's trying to keep a cool face, but he
He's
clearly
still
can't.
trying to look cool. Just the one arm.
くっついてれば少しはマシだろ。
そうだね。
I like Rin's expression in this. I think it's really good.
Mm-hmm. It's not like I like you or anything.
Wow, the sunrise is beautiful. You know what else is beautiful?
もうすぐ夜が明ける。せっかくここまで来たんだ。見逃すなよ。
That's right, Suzuri.
そうだね。
Oh wow, they actually like animate it. That's cute.
Wow.
Like it's not just a fade kind of cut. That's cool.
Got a nice twofer out of that CG.
すごい綺麗ねえ見てヨミもみじ村の初日の出
はいはいちゃんと見てるよ
Yeah, I'm looking at it. What do you want?
I did it. I looked with my one eye.
私こんなに綺麗
Look
な
better.
今まで見たことない
はい綺麗だな分かったから耳元でそう大きな声を出すなよ
The dream.
想像してたのよりずっと綺麗本当に来てよかった
あっさまあお前がそう言うなら来た甲斐はあったんだな
ありがとうヨミ一緒に見られて嬉しいあ、そうだまだ言ってなかったよねヨミ今年もよろしくお願いし
He
ます
says Yomi sighs and takes off his eye patch.
なんだよ
You missed the follow-up revealing the Sharingan.
No.
大切なことだもんちゃんと言わな
Can't believe it. We were dating Kakashi the whole time.
We just misheard when they said Ayakashi.
ああよろしくしたくないけど
Oh my god.
よろしく
Oh my god. Oh my god. We've done it, folks. We did the tsundere. Here it is.
I love them.
もうヨミってば
I love them so much.
Chad's losing it at how incredibly tsundere this is.
It's so
Beames
good.
Watch says, "Watch over me" or whatever. The love story of the ages.
わかってる
God. Yeah, this is such like just a couple of horny teens compared to Hagenosuke's route, which had like all this like deep emotional stuff and like solving a lifelong mystery.
We're gonna walk in and Gein's gonna be there and he's like, where have you two been?
Please.
Oh, they made it. I just want like everyone there like, hey, what are you
And they
guys
all
up to?
applaud, and then it says, "Congratulations, congratulations,
まだ
congratulations."
ばかりだからみんな寝てるな
なんかスリリングでドキドキしたね
お前な
本当に楽しかったヨミだってそう思うでしょ
俺は
I mean, there's some tension going on.
とにかく銀さんたちが起きる前に部屋に戻ろうお前も満足しただろ
うん大満足付き合ってくれて本当にありがとう
ああじゃあな
じゃあねおやすみ
おい
Hey with no punctuation is like the most fucking Yomi ass.
That feels like the
thing.
most Yomi thing that a typo could ever give us.
俺も
Oh my god.
つまらなくはなかったおやすみ
Yeah, that didn't suck. Good night.
I guess it was fine.
Of all the moments I've spent with
God.
someone, this is one of them. Good night.
Every conversation with him feels like dragging an anchor up from the bottom of the ocean.
I love it. A really great gift. I guess validation
girl.
is in a lot of ways like a gift.
Damn, girl, raise your standards.
Should we call it here?
Fucking probably.
Oh my god, it's January.
It's finally here, January. That seems like a good stopping point. We didn't get any drawings.
No.
We got a CG though.
We did get a CG, and we've always had the most important CG for him.
Oh right, of course, the play.
No, not that one.
No, not the play.
That's right, this one.
Oh right, this one. Woo, 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 woo.
You know what this feels like? This is like any number of 80s movies like Grease, where it's like the popular kind of like, you know, the popular standoffish dude and the attractive like proper lady are getting in a relationship. It's just two popular people. This is just high school. You know, like that's the feeling I get from this entire thing is like, especially we'll go to it real quick. I feel like the pose that they had at the sunset was extremely that.
Oh yeah, this is now that you say it like that.
This is totally the
yeah.
scene from like a Grease or something, you know? Like where, you know, you have the excitable young girl and you have sort of like the trying to act
Guy
tough
who's
dude.
too cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that same kind of vibe. Yeah.
Same sort of dynamic where it's kind of like, oh, what's even the point? And you know, like she's the
She just kind of cuts right through it and
right,
is
cuts
like,
right through his garbage
"Yay."
idiot self. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I wish her internal monologue was sort of more like
Balanced.
he's saying it like that, but I don't think that's how he really feels, versus her just being like, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah, there's a little less Yomi in this.
Because I feel like nobody would really do this unless they also believed that he was not saying how he really felt, that he was having trouble expressing his emotions.
But we get a little bit of that, like when she actively like confronts him on like why he's not at the party and stuff. So we're not totally missing that perspective. And like the fact that he's opening up now, I think is good after kind of a rough start.
Yeah, I guess it's weird how much physical affection they have to have before he starts to, like, do anything.
Well, I think that's the thing, is the more he's caught off guard, is the more he's willing to be, like, real. And it's just one of those things where it's like, he can totally pretend to be sort of, like, aloof and unfeeling when he's like, in control of everything.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just a case of him being, you know, gotta beat him.
Does anybody know anybody like this, chat? Like, when you were in high school or currently? I feel like this is one of those things that it's like, nobody's really like this. But there are a lot of humans in the world, so, I mean...
I definitely knew people who had moments like this. Like, this was not their attitude. But also,
I feel like
I also
in
hung
real
out
life,
with
people
band
who act
geeks,
like
so
this,
like everyone was a loser, so it didn't matter.
I feel like, I feel like in real life, people who act like this, it's like what we were talking about earlier, where it's like, and at this point, she would be like, "Oops, I was infatuated with him, but now I'm done." Like that's what happens in real life.
Mm-hmm. Like I feel like
Where-
I don't know, baby's first nihilist thoughts sort of thing isn't uncommon for like high school, especially as you like. I feel like there are a lot of cases in high school where you kind of realize how unimportant you are in the grand scheme of things. And that feels like what Yomi is going through, is maybe he's seen like so many people leave the village and nothing changes, that he's just kind of gotten this sour attitude about it all.
And something, I mean, they still lost their eyes somehow.
Mm-hmm.
We still have to figure. Hopefully, the next thing.
And that was before.
Yeah, Manjo in the chat says, "I used to have a crush on someone like this, but then I started taking care of myself. Oops." Exactly.
And it's like, shoot, I lost what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
No, I need to think about it again. But like, oh yeah, because Yomi has clearly something else going on, and the eye stuff happened before Rin popped up beforehand, like in the childhood chapter. So I think that's part of like why he hates people, but there's got to be something deeper than that. That really like
I'm kind of
cements
waiting
that.
for it to make more sense. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess I shouldn't say like, have you ever, like, I've never met anyone like this, because I do have a computer science degree. So yes, I have met a lot of people like this, but like none of them were ready to date anyone.
Sure. Sure. But like, I feel like the more I see it, the more I can enjoy their dynamic.
Yeah, it's not a forever thing. Like, which is a little weird just by the whole, because like Hagenosuke is like, they're gonna get married.
Right.
Like, they're married now. And this is not that at all. This is like, oh, like, maybe they'll fuck. Like, and then, but like, that's
right, like,
it's a very different thing.
There's not that emotional connection yet.
Yeah, but I also have to give the game credit for portraying like a relationship that it would be appropriate for Yomi's personality so far.
Right, like, it definitely feels like, oh, well, I'm still trying to break through this dude, right? Like, this is sort of the cliche of, like, the dark, mysterious sort of guy, right? He's just also an asshole.
Yeah, I don't know if he's, like, dark and mysterious, because he is a fucking nerd. I think he's just, like, really standoffish, and she has to kind of just sit there and, like, break down the wall in a way that, like, doesn't really... I feel like in romance stories this happens a lot more, because versus like in real life, eventually you would get discouraged because you don't have the certainty that it's gonna work out in the end.
And also the dynamic's a little bit different because they literally have to live with each other, right? Like,
yeah.
they don't get the ability to avoid each other, so they have to at least make up, and then things go nutso.
Yeah, and I guess I can see Rin being more like, I'm glad we had this time together, whatever. Like, it's still like, if it didn't, like, it's still like on the fence where it doesn't necessarily have to resolve in romance.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even at this point, like, there's sexual tension and whatever, but like, if it never resolved into romance, like, it's more like, I'm glad I had this experience, and I'm glad that I like have this positive relationship with you guys and like my new family and everything like that.
Right. Yeah,
so and that's probably also why she has the patience to like keep insisting and stuff, because it's like she's in a good enough place where it's like it doesn't have to resolve into a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that it's getting somewhere. I am enjoying it more now that we've kind of gotten past he did the thing that like really like makes him reconsider how he treats Rin. Mm-hmm. And now it's a lot more playful when they're like they're like insulting each other. it feels like the sort of thing you would do in, if nothing else, like a friendly relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it as it continues on.
Yeah, it's entertaining, but it's not like Hagenosuke's route.
Right, it's not the high quality romantic
AKA the one
content.
true route.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not like the quality romantic content that I'm looking for. But you know,
This is the thirsty content that we're appreciating.
oh, for sure. They are just ugh.
It's a totally different vibe, and like it's very like readable. Like, oh yeah, like the whole like, oh, we're sitting like alone, quiet with the dramatic lighting in the early hours of the morning, like the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we basically had like the big date moment.
Mm-hmm. I guess the equivalent in Hagenosuke's route was when we were working at the shrine. I mean, it was just a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
Again, like, you know,
They're
fuck,
night
marry,
and day.
kill. Where we marry Hagenosuke. Fuck Yomi. As I've been saying this whole time. Fuck
Right.
Yomi.
Fuck Yomi. And then kill Suo.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see. I'm interested to see how this develops and how this probably eventually grows into something more romantic.
We'll see. I mean, it fucking better.
I mean, it's going to. I think we can easily
Yeah.
say that. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't see if we can. Oh, we still can't click on it, huh? Maybe that's after the whole game. Yeah, when are we gonna get one of these for Yomi?
Yeah, after we complete his route, this would be like a little Yomi drawing.
Yeah. God, all these are so good.
They're very good drawings.
What's these extra scenarios? Huh, that might be like epilogue stuff. We have the movies, so we have the opening and we have Ibuki's credits. Here we can replay scenes. Okay. So if we ever need context on why we were about to get eaten by a spider again. Anyways,
that was a very good scene.
Yeah. Anyways, here's the climax of Yomi's character.
Oh man. Remember when Ibuki directed the play? That was so good.
Incredible. Oh, someone's asking in the chat, do you know when you're already on a boys route, do the choices have an impact? Is there like a true... Yes, so Ayakashi Gohan has a good ending, a best ending, and a bad ending. I think for everyone. So, yeah, we're occasionally... I'm looking at the old walkthrough once we get to the character routes just to make sure we get the best one. You know, we gotta get the best representation of a boy.
I mean, if we're being disingenuous, we might as well be the maximum amount of disingenuous.
Right, we're going as far as we can.
We want to see Yomi's best foot forward.
Right, he didn't start with it, but eventually we'll see his best foot forward. He started with being real mean to us, and we're gonna fix that.
God.
We're gonna fix that attitude. Just like this.
Oh my god. Alright. Well,
Yeah.
Next week there might be a stream or there might not be a stream. If there is, it will be from my hotel room, and that'll be exciting. If not, then it will be because I had to work and I couldn't make it. Stay tuned!
I still had fun this evening.
Yeah, it was fun. It was totally different vibe than I expected.
Yeah,
but
I think
it wasn't bad.
I think once we pare back a little bit, it's like, yeah, we're not gonna get the same thing as Hagenosuke.
But I want every route to be like predestined true love. Like that's why I'm playing an Otome game. I don't understand.
Well, we'll find out how it turns out next time. See you guys
Next
then.
time.